Exam Prep 2022. Team Tests brings you a video podcast on language. Today, I have with me Bridget.
Hello everyone.
Hello, Bridget. As usual, we have short areas. You will surely get questions from these areas in the exam. First is branches of linguistics.
Yes. The first question, are you listening? Okay. Which of the following are not branches of applied linguistics? Option A, conversation analysis, contrastive linguistics. B, discourse analysis, language pedagogy. C, syntax and semantics.
Do you know the answer, guys? The answer is
C, syntax and semantics.
guys, some branches of linguistics are more concerned with theoretical aspects of language. That is called theoretical linguistics. What is applied linguistics? It is about the practical application of linguistics in society, in everyday life. We used to use the term pragmatics, which is also about the use of language. Now, theoretical linguistics has various branches. Phonology is the theory of the sounds, morphology, syntax, structural grammar, semantics, historical linguistics. These are all branches of theoretical linguistics. Whereas applied linguistics is about language education, foreign language use, translation, lexicography, etc. Now I will slightly explain the options. First, conversation analysis. It's a very major area of study and it looks at ordinary everyday spoken discourse and tries to understand from analyzing the conversation how people manage their interactions. So, this involves the analysis of greeting, accepting an offer, apology, and other such various aspects of conversation and social interaction. It can be verbal and non verbal both. And what does contrastive linguistics do? It shows the differences and similarities between languages or dialects. It is a very practice oriented approach. So, both conversation analysis and contrastive linguistics are applied linguistics. Discourse analysis is a very common approach in applied linguistics and looks at how language shapes reality. Discourse is understood as the way in which we perceive the world, understand the world. So, a dominant discourse of gender, how this discourse shapes our reality. That is done in discourse analysis. And what is language pedagogy? Language pedagogy means the teaching and learning of a language. There are various approaches in language pedagogy, but all these are applied linguistics. But syntax and semantics are purely theoretical linguistics. Bridget, please move on. I'm explaining too much. Our viewers will be bored with my explanation.
Which of the following is false? A, pragmatics depends on physical context and linguistic context.
Is that true?
Option B, pragmatics includes implied and inferred meanings. The final option, pragmatics focuses on all kinds of natural communication except speech acts.
That's a difficult one. What's the answer?
The answer is C. Pragmatics focuses on natural communication except speech acts.
That is true. Pragmatics focuses on all kinds of natural communication, including speech acts.
Can you tell us what are the differences of pragmatics and applied linguistics?
Yes, let me explain that one. Pragmatics and applied linguistics are both about language in use, but pragmatics and applied linguistics are not the same. Pragmatics is about the implicature or the hidden meanings in language. When language is used, the same word can have different meanings in different settings, isn't it? Why is that? Pragmatics studies why there are hidden meanings when language is used by a writer or speaker. Applied linguistics, on the other hand, is about how to use language for various purposes. For speech therapy, for example, or translation. So, applied linguistics focuses on the linguistic problems and solving them. Okay, Prajit, let's move on.
Next question from branches of linguistics. William Wundt pioneered in option A. Psycholinguistics, B. Sociolinguistics, C. Applied linguistics.
Oh, Wilhelm Wundt. He was the father of which one of these branches of linguistics?
And here is the answer. Option A. Psycholinguistics. William Wundt was a German psychologist. Can you tell us about him more in detail?
Yes. Wilhelm Wundt was actually the father of psychology, not only psycholinguistics. He gave psychology a very scientific foundation. You know what he did? He established a lab and used scientific methods to study human mind and human behavior. It is Wundt who taught the first scientific psychology course sometime in the 19th century, in the 1860s. And he started what is called experimental psychology. He wrote a very famous book about it also. And he became assistant professor of physiology, and there he started the discipline of neuropsychology. And now questions from history of language.
The question is, identify the correct statement. Here are the statements. A. Ablaut refers to changes in vowel pronunciation without changes in meaning.
B. Ablaut is the oldest single source of vowel gradation in Indo-European languages.
The final option, umlaut was first recorded in the Vedic period.
Ablaut and umlaut are very important, guys.
There will be questions from this area, and the answer is option B. Ablaut is the oldest single source of vowel gradation in Indo-European languages. Can you tell us about ablaut and umlaut in detail, ma'am?
Sure. Ablaut and umlaut are two different phonological mutations. What do you mean by phonological mutations? That means changes that happened to speech sounds as language developed. So, as language developed, changes happened to speech sounds. Ablaut and umlaut are two such changes. Ablaut happened in Indo-European languages very early as 8th century BC. And it was first recorded by our Sanskrit grammarians. Umlaut happened a little later. It took place in Germanic languages in the early 80s. Now, ablaut, the term was coined by none other than Jacob Grimm. Let me explain what is ablaut first. All of you know that English language is inflectional. What do you mean by inflectional language? That means some of the words of the language change completely depending on the way they are used in a sentence. For example, man in the plural becomes men. Sing in the past tense became sang. Ablaut is one of the reasons why English language is inflectional. Ablaut is the change in strong verbs like sing or write. Sing or write form other tenses through inflection. Sing became sang, sung, sing, sang, sung, write, wrote, written. These changes happened because of ablaut. Ablaut is a systematic change. There is a pattern in which this change is happening. And this happened to Proto-Indo-European language. Umlaut is a little different. Umlaut is vowels changing into other similar vowels. a vowel becomes a related vowel or similar vowel through the process called assimilation. Now, depending on the way your mouth organs move during the pronunciation of vowels, umlaut is said to be vowel raising, vowel fronting, vowel lowering. All these in the paid course I teach with PowerPoint and pictures. So when you listen to me, please write down, check out the internet also, because then you'll understand clearly. So umlaut is of different kinds: vowel raising, vowel fronting, vowel lowering, vowel rounding. These gave rise to I umlaut or I mutation, A mutation, U mutation. That means sometimes a back vowel is fronted in I mutation. The front vowel is raised also. Back vowel means vowel pronounced with the back of your mouth, like U, O. They become front vowels like A, E. That means the whole pronunciation of the word changed because of this mutation. This is ablaut and umlaut. Now after this, when you read, you will understand more. Do your own research. Okay, guys? Next is loan words.
The question is, which of the following is a list of loan words from Italian? A. Gazette, fiasco, grotesque. And B. Grill, roast, mutton. C. Cake, egg, knife.
Do you think it's a mouth-watering answer, guys?
It's very simple, and the answer is option A. Gazette, fiasco, grotesque.
Oh, this is great fun. I'm learning so much. Are you loving this, Bridget?
Yes, very much.
Okay, let's go on to the next question.
Now, we'll have a question from phonetics. Dash is a phonetic term that describes sounds that produce an obstruction to the flow of air through the vocal tract.
Oh, dash is the term that describes obstruction to the flow of air. What
Yes.
is that? What are the options?
The options are vocoid, B. Contoid, C. Syllable. The answer is contoid. I think ma'am will explain us about contoid, vocoid and syllable.
That's an easy one. Vocoids are sounds made with open oral cavity without any friction. All pure vowels are vocoids. Most of the consonants are conchoids and they are produced with some amount of oral friction. For example, vocoids, E, A, U. There is nothing obstructing the airflow. But there are some consonants like Y, W. They are also sometimes pronounced without friction. So, conchoids and vocoids are two kinds of sounds based on whether there is any oral friction or whether it is pronounced without any obstruction.
And another question from the same area. Which of these words does not employ a schwa? A schwa
Is an inverted E. Remember, guys? I'll explain later. Option A, alone. Option B, pencil. Option C, pet. Alone has an initial schwa. Pencil has a schwa at the end, towards the end. Pet does not have the schwa. That is the answer.
I think schwa will be explained by ma'am.
Schwa is the unstressed, short, central vowel A. You have it at the beginning of words like about, alone, ago. When you say a girl, a boy, that A is schwa.
We have a question from Phonology. Question. Many Indians pronounce as ats. This is an example of options. A. Metathesis. B. Reduction. C. Dissimulation. And the answer is metathesis.
Bridget, so many people say ux, tasky, etc. This is metathesis. The transposition of sounds in a word or words in a sentence. This is called metathesis. That means ulta pulta ho jata hai. Come on, let's have the next question.
Which of the following schools did pioneering work in phonology? Options: behaviorist, B. cognitivist, C. Prague school. And the option C. Prague school
Is the correct answer.
Can you tell us about these three schools in detail?
Behaviorism and cognitivism are approaches to learning in general and language acquisition in particular. Behaviorists think that language is learned as a mechanical habit due to imitation, repetition. Children imitate adults. And repetition means when every day a bell rings at the time of feeding, the dog will start to salivate. He will learn the meaning of the bell as food. Cognitivists, on the other hand, do not believe that environment influences learning. They think that the mind is an information processor like the computer, and they believe in internal mental processes that lead to learning and language acquisition. B.F. Skinner is the behaviorist, and Noam Chomsky is the famous cognitivist. Behaviorist, cognitivist, Prague school, all of them focused on the function of language. They are functionalists. However, behaviorists and cognitivists have relevance in applied linguistics. Prague school gave importance to phonology. They stressed the function of elements within language and they contrasted language elements to one another. They studied sound systems and they studied the total pattern formed by the language elements or sound elements. Now there's a question from morphology.
The question is, which of the following will be significantly impacted by morphological studies? The options: A. Literacy campaigns, B. Studies on memory, C. Language loss.
Morphological studies means study of words. So the answer is
Option A. Literacy campaigns.
the next sure short area is word formation. This comes within morphology.
And the question is, which kind of word formation is illustrated by the expressions to email and to microwave? Here are the options: A. Back formation, B. Conversion, C. Neologism. And the answer is B. Conversion.
Let me explain what conversion is. Conversion in word formation is using a noun as an adjective or a verb as a noun, etc. That means the class of the word is changed without changing its form. So conversion is also called zero derivation or null derivation. From email, the noun, we get the verb to email. Similarly for microwave. Another question from word formation.
Question: which of these morphological processes is found in Dravidian languages but not in Hindi? Option A. Inflection, B. Agglutination, C. Both of these. And the answer is option B. Agglutination.
Really, Bridget, this agglutination is something very interesting in Malayalam, Tamil, etc. Let me give you some examples.
Please.
In Malayalam, we can string a lot of words together, connecting it, making it like one big word. Paranyadendanennu vechal. It only means what I said is, but it is not separate words. They are all connected together, agglutinated. It happens in Dravidian languages and some other languages like Korean, etc. Now, questions from syntax.
And the question is, who of the following was not an ancient grammarian who contributed to studies of syntax? A. Kuntaka, B. Panini, C. Bhartrhari.
These are ancient Indian grammarians.
Okay. And what is the answer? Option A. Kundaka.
Kuntaka was a poet, not a grammarian. Now, from modern linguistics or modern grammar as against traditional grammar.
Which of the following is a feature of modern grammar or linguistics? Option A. It is descriptive. B. Considers a written form as the most important aspect of language. The final option is gives priority to punctuation.
And what is the answer?
And the answer is it is descriptive.
Modern grammar or modern linguistics is descriptive, not prescriptive, and it gives importance to speaking, not writing. Now, questions from semantics. What is semantics, guys? The study of meaning in language.
It is very important, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the question is who among these philosophers contributed to ideational semantics? A. Thomas Hobbes. B. John Locke. C. David Hume.
They're all British philosophers of the 17th, 18th centuries. Ideational semantics. The answer is
Option B. John Locke. Again, question from semantics. A red traffic light means stop. This is an example of A. Natural meaning. B. Conventional meaning. C. Intentional meaning.
Now you're wondering what these are. I'll tell you after you tell me the correct answer.
And the correct option is option B. Conventional meaning.
What is natural meaning? You are sneezing. That naturally means you have a cold. Conventional meaning comes from habitual or conventional use of things. If a woman is wearing sindoor on her forehead, it might mean she is married in India. Red traffic light means stop. Intentional meaning is what? You call a woman lady. So you are intentionally showing that you respect her, that you think she has grace. That is intentional meaning. There is a little overlap between conventional meaning and intentional meaning. Now, question 16 from varieties of English. Indian English, American English, Australian English. What is the question?
And the varieties of English, I think it's very interesting, right?
Yeah, every area has a different pronunciation, different words.
Okay, and there are quarrelings, which is the best English, which is the right English.
That's right.
And the question is, which of the following phonemes are not differentiated in Indian English?
Guys, you can expect questions from Indian English. Options: were and were. Is there a differentiation between were and were in Indian English?
The and the.
Yeah. Do we differentiate between the and the?
Year and year.
Which of these is not differentiated in Indian English? The answer is A and B. When Indians speak, they pronounce the and were as the same sound. They pronounced the and the. Instead of the, they will say the. This is Indian English. Now, the major linguists, starting from Ferdinand de Saussure.
Oh, he's very important. And the question is, which of the following did Saussure define as word image?
I am sure you're thinking word image. I know what that is. But here, look at the options.
The first option, signifiant. Option D, signifier. Option C, sign.
Hooray! You must be thinking signifier, signified. But what is signifiant, signifier? What is the answer?
And the answer is signifiant.
Don't worry, guys. I'll tell you what that is. The first option, signifiant, is signifier or word image. The second option, signifier, is signified or concept. Next, we'll have a question from Leonard Bloomfield. He was as important as Ferdinand de Saussure himself.
The question is, which of these words was first used by Leonard Bloomfield? Morpheme, tagmeme, and grapheme. And the answer is B, tagmeme.
Tagmeme and tagmemics. These are very important terms. Tagmeme is the basic unit of grammatical analysis in tagmemics. And what is tagmemics? Tagmemics is a grammar that describes language in terms of grammatical function of words and their classes. And the most important linguist, Noam Chomsky.
I think we must know about Noam Chomsky in detail.
Really, there will be definitely a question.
Especially for us, we are language students, literature students. Noam Chomsky is very important. And here is the question. Arrange the works of Noam Chomsky chronologically. A. Aspects of the theory of syntax. B. The minimalist program. C. Language and mind. And the answer is, correct order is aspects of the theory of syntax, language and mind, the minimalist program.
There are so many other linguists that you need to know. Other linguists, I have just put it like that for sure, short area. Please look up a lot of major linguists. You can Google search and find out. But here is one question for you.
The question is, who among the following worked on the languages of the American Indians?
Option A, Edward Sapir. Option B, Carl Brugman. Option C, William Labov. And the answer is Edward Sapir. Edward Sapir was an American linguist and anthropologist who did a lot of pioneering work with American Indian languages. He was also a pioneer in ethno-linguistics. And now, a very important area within linguistics is English language teaching. Take a look at questions on ELT now. ELT terms.
Yes, from ELT, teaching of English for the purpose of scientific research comes under A. ELT, B. ESP, C. CLT.
If you don't know what these mean, you won't be able to answer. But I'm sure you know that.
Answer is option B, ESP.
I will explain. ELT is English language teaching in general. ESP is English for special purposes, for scientific purposes, for medical or legal purposes. And CLT is communicative language teaching. Now on methods of teaching.
The question, which of these is the correct pair? Option A, Suggestopedia, Georgy Lozanov, audiovisual method, Lambert-Sauvaire, and option C, grammar translation method, Delheims. And the correct answer is A, Suggestopedia, Georgy Lozanov.
Suggestopedia, developed by the Bulgarian psychiatrist Georgy Lozanov, is a method of teaching foreign languages by using positive suggestions. Lambert-Sauvaire is associated with the direct method of teaching. Delheims, you might know, is the man who coined communicative competence, that term. One more question from methods of teaching.
Which of the following is not involved in TPR?
TPR is total physical response.
And here are the options. Option A, action. Option B, repetition. Option C, translation. And the correct answer is C, translation.
So what happens in total physical response in the classroom? The teacher will perform an action by exaggerating, using facial expressions and props also. And then the students will repeat what the teacher is saying. For example, the teacher will show like brushing her teeth, and she will say, "I'm brushing my teeth." And the students will all repeat it. There is no translation involved. Prijit, are you tired?
I am not, but I think the listeners.
Well, we have just one more question, don't worry.
Okay.
It's from Learning Theories.
And the question is, the behaviorist school of psychology was established in 1913 with the publication of the Behaviorist Manifesto. Who is the author? Option A, John B. Watson. Option B, B.F. Skinner. Option C, Albert Bandura.
Have you heard these names, guys? I'm sure B.F. Skinner and John B. Watson are famous and familiar. The answer is
Option A, John B. Watson.
So that is the end of this video. Next in Exam Prep 2022 is Unit 6, English in India. Until then, bye-bye from Prijit and Kalyani.
And bye from Team Tess.
Study well, guys. See you soon.